Okay, so I'm in conversation at the moment with Dr. Kevin Ruane, who's Group HR Director, amongst a number of other things for a company or a set of companies that are nearby. So, Dr. Ruane, to use your full title, could you tell me a little bit about the organisation that you work for and what it is that you do for them?
Yes, of course. So I'm the Group Human Resources Director. I also direct health and safety. I manage the IT department and I manage our group of fleet vehicles. I work for a local company called the Banks Group. We supply and manufacture a range of building products within facades, building boards within the UK construction industry.
Yeah, right, okay. And how many people are employed across the group?
So we have around 100 employees in one group, and then we also have dealings with another group that the owners own too, where there's about another 125 employees in that group.
Right. Okay. So quite a lot of people to look after there.
Yes.
Okay. And I mean, you've mentioned the areas that you're responsible for, so human resources, fleet, IT. Could you kind of give me an idea as to what sort of roles are available across the company, and obviously relating to the products that you manufacture?
Yeah, of course. So we recruit at all different times of the year. We have full-time roles for apprenticeships, for warehousing, for our technical department, finance, IT. So at different times of the year, adverts on LinkedIn page. Okay. So I would definitely suggest everybody to, for their future careers, get LinkedIn, get a LinkedIn profile, and then they can link into our group's page and just keep an eye out for any adverts there, and you apply online.
Right. Okay. I mean, do you as a company use other social media platforms? I know, for example, that a lot of the pupils here at CCSC won't at this moment have a LinkedIn presence, but they do access other media. Is it something that you as a company, or is it?
We use Facebook. We use Twitter, so exactly the same. So the Banks group of companies will be on there. We put videos out, any charity work that we do, or any new products that we have. So any of those sites, they'll be able to get in contact with us through.
Right. Okay. So the different opportunities to find and access the group. Okay. I mean, just in terms of your role, how long have you been doing it?
Okay, so I've been doing my role over 10 years now. Before this role, I had a real change of career. I was a police inspector in West Midlands Police. Right, okay. So I always fancied human resources and thought, right, the skills I've learned within the police, maybe can I transfer into the business world?
Okay, right. Okay. Interestingly enough, and this is completely an aside, the person I've just spoken to is a forensics officer for West Midlands Police.
Wow.
So yeah,
what a small world.
Yeah, I was going to say your paths may have crossed. I mean, in terms of your role, is there ever a typical day, and if so, what would that kind of entail?
Yeah, so HR departments, they exist to allow the infrastructure to run smoothly. So we support employees, management and directors. We give everybody the rules and guidance to follow within the workplace. So a typical day for myself, so I'd start the day with checking my emails and replying to all emails. I average around 150 to 200 emails per day. So you could say a lot of emails. With issues ranging from payroll queries, policy guidance, employees needing welfare, people being off ill, questions about employee pensions. Usually most days we'll develop recruitment adverts. So if we are recruiting, we'll develop an advert. Then we'll put a plan in place of how we're going to, who's going to be reviewing CVs. You can imagine at the moment we're getting, for any role that we advertise, we get thousands of CVs that we have to review. Then if the CVs that we like, we then agree to have interviews. We have a 2-stage interview process,
Yeah.
so that different people get to meet the person.
Okay.
And finally, we have a formal board meeting once a month. So then I will be developing a board report to report to the shareholders of
Right,
how
okay.
the departments are going.
So quite a busy day, all told. I mean, if someone wanted to get into, obviously you've got a variety of responsibilities from the HR and fleet and IT. I mean, are there particular qualifications that you would encourage? Because I know that yourself, you've done a doctorate recently. I'm not saying that you necessarily need to have a doctorate to do some of these roles, but what kind of qualifications would you recommend? What kind of learning paths would you recommend?
So what I'd probably say is to do some research individually towards what you would like to do. So what your career path.
Yeah.
I talk to lots of people throughout my daily career, and people are undecided what they'd like to do. So I advise people to really research some before you go on a course, research the course and think, is that something I'd really enjoy to do?
Okay.
I would say business in general is a good starting point. I'd say human resources, if it's human resources that you'd like to get into, there's some excellent college courses on human resource management.
Right, okay, that's grand. Okay, and I've just got one last question for you. If you weren't doing the job that you're doing now, what would your dream job be?
Wow, good question. I would say this is actually my dream job. Okay, if I wasn't doing this job, I'd probably be a director for some sort of charitable organisation.
Right,
So
okay.
maybe Food Banks UK or
Right,
some
okay.
type of cancer research.
Right, okay.
I think that's what I'd actually like to do, to give something back, really.
Community, right? Okay, that's brilliant. Well, Dr. Ruane, thank you very much for your time.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Thank you.